Okay, so today we're going to do a quick start guide for the PC series. This is the same process for the 120 and the 150. So you've had your machine delivered. We'll run through what everything does, the controls you need to use, and just to get you up and running, basically. The machine's been unpacked or delivered. It's good to go. We'll run through all the elements. First thing we're going to do is the control box. So this one here, this sits on the towing vehicle with you. This has your tipping controls here. Very simple. Up and down, so up to tip, down to close. A couple of warning lights here for a low battery, or if there's a fault or an obstruction, either one of those will flash up. So dead simple to use. It plugs into the machine on the front here. So I'll feed that cable through there. And then you've got a socket here. Plugs into there. So, like I say, you want to have that on the towing vehicle with you, but when it's not in use, you've got a nice park position as well down here. So clips on there, nice and securely, so it's not going to get lost or damaged. So that's your tipping control. Start at the front of the machine and cover everything else as well. So ball hitch on here, hitching and unhitching, press that up and that will lift up, and then you can drop that onto your 50mm ball hitch. We also do a pin hitch option as well, which replaces that unit, but most people will be having the ball hitch. It's on a swivel here, so for rough ground it swivels. Coming back from that, this is your jockey wheel for hitching and unhitching, so use that when you're hitching and unhitching. When it's hitched up, undo that clamp, lift it up out of the way so it's clear. This is the adjuster for the drawbar angle, so depending on the towing vehicle, when you first use it, you'll need to adjust the drawbar angle to keep the machine running level. You only have to do it once effectively unless you change the towing vehicle, and you're just winding this up or down as required to keep it level. Coming back from that, we've got your main height adjustment here. So pull the pin out, and you can then adjust the unit up or down as required. And you've then popped that in there because it keeps it nice and secure. You've also as well, there's a scale on the back here. So when you adjust it up or down, you can see the numbers on here. So you know that you're going to a consistent height. And you can always, if you need to, put a mark as well if you know you need to be working at a specific number. We've got at the front of the machine, time bar as well. These come ready to go, but if you find the tines are wearing, you can undo that knob, drop that down, and it gives you a bit more wear. So you've got a couple of points that it will mount on here as the tines wear, or if you need more agitation. The engine on these, really nice and easy to use. You've got electric start system over here, which I'll cover. I'll start it up in a minute. Recoil start back up if you need, but for the most part you'll be using the electric, and then your engine controls are on here. So a couple to be wary of. You've got your fuel tap. You want to make sure that's switched on when you want to use the machine, obviously. You've got your choke here, which is for choke, so when starting when it's cold, choke over to this side, and then this lever here is your main throttle controls. So normally you'd start on idle, and then once it's warmed up, you turn your choke off, you increase the revs, and the unit starts operating. If you've got the remote throttle option, it replaces this unit, so you'll have a separate remote cable coming out, which just does what this does, but remotely. So if I'm going to start this one up, just to show you, you'll have it on idle, you have your choke across to here, and then key start over here. And then once it's warmed up a bit, you increase the revs. They're really nice and easy to use. Engine as well, a couple of things in terms of the servicing to be aware of. You've got your air filter on the top here. If you operate in dusty environments, just keep on top of that, make sure it's not getting excessively dusty. Fuel tank on top as well, just runs on normal unleaded, so E10, E5 or E10 unleaded, and you're good to go. We'll cover the maintenance as well in a separate video. So that should give you a good idea on the basics of using the machine. Obviously, you want to familiarise yourself with it when you first start. When you go out into the field to use the machine, you want to start it up, rev it up, so you're at the running speed. So your running speed, you're always running at full speed on these, so that you've got plenty of power there, and it charges the battery. That engages your brush system on here, and then you want to adjust your height on this one. So drop it down so the brushes are just touching the grass. You don't want them really working into the ground because they will pull a lot of material with it. They want to be just sweeping the grass and lifting this stuff up. So adjust it as required, and away you go. If you find you need more pickup, so if it's really wet conditions or if it's really heavy stuff, you can always drop it down a little bit further to get a bit better sweep, a bit harsher agitation. Once you're done sweeping, your tipping controls, really nice and simple. Press that, and it'll open the hopper up, tip the unit out, and again, it opens itself up, stops when it gets to the top. You tip your material out, and then in a minute you press that on there to close, and away you go for the next load. So you can do the tipping with the engine running, or you can stop the unit as well to tip, whichever works for you, depending on where you're tipping the material. Again, like I say, lowering, press the button, and you're good to go.